Hello there, I'm a member of the training team, and today I'm going to show you how to use group notes. Group notes are notes created for group sessions where part of the note will be the same across multiple patients. The documentation in the system has all been built to keep notes from crossing patients before. The group notes page is specifically set up to allow you to clone notes, and they should be similar across different patients. You will have to do some setup in patient accounts prior to using the group notes page. You can do the required setup in the Fields tab in the patient account. This tab needs to be added by your coach prior to using the Group Notes page. Here is how to set up the Group Notes page using the Fields tab in the patient account. To begin using Group Notes, first the Fields tab needs to be enabled for your patient accounts. On that Fields tab needs to be the attribute of Group Session. Click the Add button at the top if there are no rows already existing you can edit. Select the Group Session attribute from the first column. Fill in the date range for the patient in that group. The end date can be edited later if necessary. Fill in the value field with the name of the group that the patient is a part of. Click on the Save button at the top. Repeat these steps for all the patients in one group. Now here is how you can use the page. To open this page, click on Workbench and then Group Notes. On the left-hand side of the page, you will see the area to begin your work. Once the fields on the left are filled in or an active session is selected, the right side is filled with the notes for a particular patient. The remaining patients in the group will be listed on the left to switch between. When you are going to work on group notes, there are two options: creating a new group note session or working on a group session that was already created. Here's how you create a new session. Set the date and the time. The time is in 5-minute intervals. Select which group of patients you want to create a session for. This will pull up all the groups you created when filling in the Fields tab on patients' accounts. Choose a template. Depending on how many Xdoc templates you have, it may be helpful to use the tag drop-down to filter. The system will auto-create a name of the session. You can edit that name if needed. Select the practitioner of the group session. Click Create Group Session. The note for the first patient will appear on the right. Fill out all general info that is the same for all patients. Once the general info is entered, click on the blue Clone Note button. This will copy the info you have entered into a note for each of the other patients in the group. You'll get a confirmation window before the note is cloned. Then continue to fill in the note, adding the specifics for the patient whose note you are on. The patient's name on the left is in bold when you are working on their note. Save and sign off on the note once you complete it. Click on the name of the patient in the next list to start working on their note. When you have finished your work or you want to take a break, click on the green checkbox button. This button will exit the session. If there are unsigned notes remaining, you can find this session using the View Sessions button later. If all notes are completed, this session is closed. Now here is how you can work on a group session that has already been created. Click on the View Sessions button near the lower left. Click on the session you wish to go back into and continue. Click the Open Session button at the bottom right. The note for the first patient in the list will appear on the right. Edit and sign off as needed. To switch to another patient, click on their name on the left-hand side. When finished, click on the green checkbox button. This will exit out of that session. If there are no more unsigned notes for that session will now be closed. Now before we go, there are some other things that you should know about this page. If a patient is out for the day and therefore not partaking in the group session, you can click the X to the right of their name to remove them from that session. A pop-up will ask you if you want to delete the document associated with the patient. If you want to delete it, then select Yes. If you want to keep the document, then click Keep Document. Click Cancel or the X if you want to close out of this pop-up. If you click either of these options, then the patient will not be deleted from the group. If a patient needs to be added to the session, you can use the Add Patient field at the bottom left. This field only shows up after a session is opened or started. This can be particularly useful if the patient was previously removed but then showed up late. Once the fields on the left are filled in or an active session is selected, the right side is filled with a note for a particular patient. The remaining patients in the group will be listed on the left to switch between. Well, that's all there is to this video. We hope that you found it helpful, and if you did, go ahead and click like at the bottom of the page. Goodbye for now and have a great day.